What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys a Cheeto video. And this one is about Jesse Lee Peterson having, I guess, a debate with Hasan Piker. And I guess Hasan kind of loses it, which honestly doesn't surprise me none, because Jesse Lee Peterson, if you don't know, is a heavy-duty devout Christian. He says a lot of things that will piss off a lot of people. That is a given, especially Christians and like anyone who claims to be a full Christian. For one, I'm a Norse pagan, so not Christian, but he does have some good points, especially about like black communities, Christianity, and a whole lot of other stuff. Hasan is just a lying grifter who believes lying is OP, so this is going to be quite interesting. I'm curious on how old this video is and when he actually did this. So I'll probably end up looking into it to see when actually this happened, unless it was actually recent, because I have no idea. But before we get fully into this, make sure you check out w.gg and use my code TacticalGaming90 for 10% off. If you don't know what W is, it's just like Gamer Subs and G Fuel and all those other ones. It's an energy supplement, zero sugar, non-jitters, interesting flavors, new stuff coming out all the time. Go take a look at them and use my code TacticalGaming90. If you go down to the link that's going to be in the comment section, the pinned one, it will directly send you to there. Just use my code when you go to checkout. Bam, TacticalGaming90. Let's get into this. This is going to be quite interesting.
How about Allah Akbar?
This means God is great.
Right, when they're about to kill you, blow you up, or chop off your head, or make sure women don't drive, or cut off their private parts. All in the name of Allah Akbar. I rest my case.
Christianity
my
has
case.
far more bodies.
That's not true.
Absolutely true.
No.
Okay, well,
The thing is, Hasan, if you
True
were
or
at the
not.
mall and some
True or
guy
not.
started yelling Allahu Akbar, I bet you'd run away too. This isn't a matter of prejudice, it's a matter of survival. If someone heard a dude yelling Allahu Akbar in a public space, they're not going to take a moment, check their privilege and check their prejudice and think, wait, hold on, I'm pretty sure that just means God is great, and then take a step back and go about their day. Most people will be put in a fight or flight scenario where they're going to act off of what they've seen and what they've heard, and they'd rather be alive
And it's not racist, it's just
and
fact.
dead and not prejudice enough. Also, if there's some guy fucking yelling Allahu Akbar in public in America in 2026, he knows what he's doing. There's no plausible deniability where the dude is getting handcuffed for doing that.
I would compare yelling Allahu Akbar in public spaces compared to yelling fire or bomb, like in public spaces or on a plane. That's the same fucking thing, because you're trying to scare the shit out of people. People go ahead and go, oh, but it just means God is good. Yeah, but the thing is, all the individuals who have said that and everything else, when it comes to it, have either blown themselves up or shot up people or anything above that. It's always the same thing. So, yeah.
And he's like, no, officer, I was just saying God is great in my native language. Dude, get the fuck out of here. You know what people think when they hear that, and you're doing it to get a reaction. So I think this defense is totally weak. You know, you have to totally remove all context around the chant if you're going to defend it. So anyway, let's move on here.
Well, then answer me this question then.
Jesse Lee Peterson shuts down woke Hasan Piker's blatant lies about radical Islam in this debate, as Jesse Lee Peterson calls out Hasan Piker for his delusional sense of morality before Hasan Piker attempts to push the myth that Islam is a progressive, peaceful religion.
Yeah, this is gonna be great.
I have no problem with people who peacefully practice any religion, and I think
agree.
people who are Islamic would understand, or Muslim, that if they went in public and yelled Allahu Akbar, there'd be consequences. Like, no one would do that and then play victim, because you have to understand the context of your environment and behave yourself, okay? It's not religious oppression, you just need to be more self-aware.
While attacking Christianity, and Jesse Lee Peterson stops Hasan cold and shuts down his lies live. Let's get in.
If they allow school vouchers, would that give the black family a way out?
I'm not a believer in school choice. I think
So
that
you want that?
So I think they start off by talking about public school, and they debate how effective the school system is.
This must have been pretty old then.
Stuff happens a bit later in the debate. Hasan, at this point in his career, was a horrible debater.
Okay, so this was an old one like I thought.
He's improved a little bit. This is a very old clip, and it's been resurfacing recently. I want to take a look at it. Guy Jesse Lee Peterson has some pretty funny moments. I like the way he talks. It's very funny. It's very brash. But Hasan is really struggling throughout this debate. Let's take a look.
Programs and charters. No, I want the government to redistribute funds in a way that yields better outcomes.
So you want the blacks in public schools? That's why you're not for school vouchers?
No, I want every public school to be elevated to a level where
that's not going to happen.
Why not?
Because it's a government school, the government.
And Hasan knows this too, because he was fucking put in private school.
Yeah.
He knows this isn't good. Like, he knows
Nepo
the
baby.
really isn't doing a good job with
Crazy.
this. And
What the hell?
so his rich parents put him in a private school, and he benefited from it. So
Yeah, there's literally a picture of him riding a horse playing polo. So, yeah, he has no idea what public school is like.
what's even the point? Why defend something that you wouldn't use?
They're never going to take care of you.
Well, I believe that the government should take
Did
it.
you have a question for me?
Why?
I forgot what it was.
How?
Wait, what were we talking about? Oh, the families, right? We were talking about like
Did you
black
have
families.
a father
You
and
suck
mother
at
home
debating.
raised by two parents?
Yeah.
Do you think life would have been different for you had you not been raised by two parents?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So if blacks were to get
Obviously.
married and stop having 77% of the children
let's
out
ask-
of wedlock,
Yeah.
would they have a better life?
Okay, answer.
I think a lot of people are simply afraid to bring this up because
Yep.
it sounds racist. Like, if that stat is true, that it's 77% like black births take place where there's no father in the picture or it's like out of wedlock, that's really bad. Like, having two parents is huge for quality of your upbringing, generally the quality of your life overall. And if
And that's statistically a fact. You can look it up. They've weighed the households of single moms, single dads, and dual parent households. When it comes to single father homes and dual parent households, the children tend to do far better than every other kid raised in a single mother household. It is just fact. You can look it up. You can look at the statistics. It is proof positive.
this is a very common denominator in all these things, it needs to be something we address. It needs to be something that
And it's not
agreed
racist if
upon,
you bring
right?
it up.
So I think to either ignore this
Because
or
it goes
say
towards
that
every
it's a
family.
problem
Black,
because you're
brown,
afraid that if
white,
you
it does not matter.
You're racist, then I think you're actually you're just a dishonest person. Ignoring uncomfortable facts makes you a liar. Ignoring the truth because you don't like how it sounds or you don't think it'll make you think it makes you sound racist is just lying. And I'd rather be seen as a racist truth teller than a wholesome liar. That doesn't
There you
seem
go.
like a
Exactly.
worthwhile trade-off for me.
Answer this though. Why?
Would they have a better life
But
first?
why?
I
Yes, they
answered
would.
it.
Why?
Why what?
Why are black people having 77% of African American children are born out
77%
of
of
wedlock?
black
Why?
children are born to black women who are citizens of this country because
Why?
they have no morals.
Morals?
Yeah.
That's a
I mean, you can go ahead and look at all the clips that are out there. That's a lot of them. That's not all of them, but I mean, a lot of them don't have morals. Quite literally.
interesting
It's a fact.
accusation. Is there any data to back up that claim?
Yes.
I need data.
Well, there's so much wrong with
He's
this.
also
Is there any
black.
data to back up his opinion that black people have no morals. Well, that's an opinion. So if it's his opinion, why would there be data to back it up?
Well, the data that you have is all the like TikTok clips and YouTube clips and Instagram clips and all the clips of all the single moms out there. And I mean single moms out there sitting there glorifying being a single mom, glorifying them stealing loads of money from food stamps and doing everything that they were doing with the food stamps, and it's all out there. It's all out there. That, and also he's black, so he knows what the black community is like because he lives in it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Need my eye.
like if there was data, it wouldn't be like a direct one-to-one. Like, here's the data that supports my opinion. What would be data that supports a fact? And morality, I think, is generally subjective. So,
It's-
Okay. All
They
right.
have
So
no
you have your
morals.
feelings. You
because
have your
they didn't-
feels
no, not
over
feelings.
reals.
No. When I was growing up, black men and women got married.
That's.
That made a difference. They worked hard.
Mhm.
That made a difference.
Yeah, he comes from that generation, the last great generation.
Familiar with
That
what
made a
anecdotal
difference.
evidence is?
And they didn't have affirmative action based
Okay.
on color.
Are you familiar with anecdotal evidence?
What does that mean?
It's
I love that. What does that mean?
Evidence, right? Even though Hasan's like, do you have any data for this? He gives his own evidence, which is his lived experience. Which,
Right.
Like Hasan's side of the political aisle is so huge on how big lived experience is. You should trust victims. You should believe what people say. If they're
Only
part
if
of
it's
protected
Hasan saying it,
groups,
though.
Minority groups. Yet when this guy goes out and says something Hasan disagrees with, his lived experience is bullshit. It's just useless anecdotal evidence.
Could that be considered racist, seeing Hasan somewhat of a white person, not really white, but is saying that what Jesse Lee Peterson, a black person, is saying false because, like, I mean, is it because he's black? Like, that kind of sounds a little racist there,
I
Hasan.
think it's so fucking hypocritical.
Anecdote, it's your personal experience, so
No,
it's
not my
clouded by
personal-
your implicit
No,
biases.
it's not. No, that was the. Do you believe that black people were ever a moral people?
What?
Do you believe that they had morals at one time?
I think black people have morals right now as well.
Is it immoral to have babies out of wedlock?
No.
What?
I don't think
Yeah, it
it's
is.
immoral
Is
to
it
have
immoral to have abortions?
Yep.
no.
Yes. Yes, it is.
No, I'm
Yes, it
What's
is.
very interesting. Hasan says he doesn't think it's immoral to have children out of wedlock. But when Jesse Lee Peterson says black people have children out of wedlock, that makes them immoral, Hasan can't conclude that's why he thinks they're immoral. That's so stupid. Is he like, this is insane.
I'm
So
pro-abortion.
you don't know what.
I'm pro-abortion.
What do you
I bet you are.
Wait, I think
Are you a
your
Christian?
morals- Are you?
You also know who also was pro-abortion? The people who created abortion, and they single-handedly targeted black people. And ironically, the lady who was doing it all was racist and did not like black people.
Wait, are you?
That's a fact.
Are you a moral realist? Do you think that there is a set of? I mean, I guess you are because you're Christian, right?
Yes, I am.
You have
Are
a
you
set
Christian?
of guidelines. I am not a Christian. No.
Are you Muslim?
I say that I'm culturally Muslim, but I'm not actually. I'm agnostic. I cannot confirm nor deny the existence of God.
You were born.
Yeah, but yet you're getting paid a lot of money to sit there and say how great Palestinian countries and Muslim countries and all these other countries are compared to America and anywhere else other than, communist dictatorships. So, you're Muslim. But at the same time, you get away with that so that you can paint your nails and wear the girly shit that you wear and do everything else. And I mean, the little maid cat outfit thing that he wore.
In Turkey?
I was born here, actually. I'm an anchor baby.
Oh, you're anchor baby?
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Your mother got pregnant and crossed the border illegally and dropped you down?
I crossed the border legally, but she
That's
birthed
great.
me here, so I could have
That's like a bigger problem. If he had said she did it illegally, then we wouldn't really be at fault because they were the ones in the wrong. But we let this motherfucker in. That's on us, right? We let Miss Piker run right over and plant this demon in our country. Crazy. It's our fault. We're
That's
accountable here.
amazing. And so,
Yeah, we should get rid of that.
Keith, what's his name? Keith?
Unless you're an American citizen.
Jake.
Yes.
Is that your nephew? I mean, your
My
uncle?
uncle, yes.
That's your uncle?
Yeah.
Inbred.
What is it, you work for him?
I do, yeah.
What is it like working for him?
Pretty good. And there's good days and bad days. Just like,
Which is my firm standpoint that he still works for Cenk Uygur, his uncle. Right? I still am a firm believer that he's working with his family and whoever his family's working with alongside that's paying all of them to spread the misinformation and lies that they do.
any other job,
Yeah. Are you a liberal?
I wouldn't consider myself a liberal, no.
Are you a conservative?
No, I'm certainly not a conservative. I'm a leftist.
You're a far
I don't
leftist.
consider liberals to be conservative. I'm more progressive
Let this dick in your mama's mouth.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
That was good.
Out of place.
That was good.
than
That was
most
good.
liberals.
And why is that?
Because liberals still believe in outdated modes of outdated economic systems that have yielded terrible results for.
Outdated economic systems that are currently in place that you benefit from every fucking day. These are
Yeah.
criticisms
So
that have
ridiculous.
been levied against Hasan since the beginning of his career, yet they still, they're still completely fucking true. He
Yeah.
says, yeah, they believe in these outdated, systems of economics, i.e. capitalism. But again, he makes this money.
Yeah, he makes so much money selling his merch.
It's unbelievable. It is.
The overwhelming majority of Americans and the overwhelming majority of people around the world.
You said
And this is why people call him a grifter. Because even if deep down he does believe in socialism, in practice he doesn't live like how he claims to believe, which is why you're a hypocrite, why you're grifting. I just can't believe that someone would hold opinions so deeply, so core to who they are, yet live in the opposite way almost at all times.
say that you.
Unless they had something to get from it, which he does.
Oh, he does.
All the fucking money and fame in the world.
Oh, big time.
At one time was a Muslim, right?
Well, I was raised in a Muslim family, but they were very progressive. My father still considers himself a Muslim, even though he doesn't follow the 5 pillars or whatever. He never went to Hajj or anything. And my mother is.
But you're so
probably-
pro-Muslim,
my
so
mother's not
funny.
Very religious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is Islam a religion?
Yes.
It is.
It's one of the three Abrahamic religions, as far as I know.
And is it a religion of peace?
No.
Yes.
Well, why do they chop off people's head and hold women back and throw homosexuals from the rooftops and they want to take over other countries?
Just going in hard.
Hold on. They can say
Going in hard.
Can you just pause for a brief moment?
Yeah.
You want to tell me about your personal black experience and use that as empirical evidence, as fact. But when I try to tell you about Muslims, you're like, nope, that doesn't work that way.
But hey, Hasan, did you not say that you're not actually Muslim? Your mom wasn't really technically Muslim. Your dad is more Muslim but doesn't follow the faith. So that's like saying it's like a Christian saying I'm Christian, but I've never gone to church in like 20 years. Like I don't go to church, but at the same time I don't follow every single belief. Then you can't sit there and say you're a Christian.
I have my own perspective. If you have actual evidence to back up your claims, then we could have a conversation.
There's videos of them literally tossing gay people off roofs, and there's videos of them chopping off Christians' heads, and there's videos of them blowing people up.
Maybe I can describe where you are confused.
Man,
How about Allahu Akbar?
Allahu Akbar.
I love it. It's such a simple comeback, but what does he even say? I feel like Jesse Lee Peterson isn't the most well-spoken. I don't think
He doesn't have to be. He's
I
funny.
disagree with much of what he says. I just think if someone else was debating Hasan, they could do a much better job embarrassing him. Hasan should have a very easy time here, in my opinion, and just from a pure debate perspective. But he's getting fucking dog walked. It's so sad. But I don't think it's sad. I think it's hilarious. I could watch this shit all day.
God is great.
Right, when they're about to kill you, blow you up, or chop off your head, or
Oh my God.
make sure women don't drive, or cut off their private parts. And
how
in
about
the
this?
name of Allahu Akbar. I rest my case.
I rest my
Let me know
case.
down below if you agree with Jesse Lee Peterson that woke Hasan Piker is absolutely lying and that Islam is not a peaceful religion. I mean, the Middle East used to be all Christian way back in the day, and then guess what? Islam was formed, and they either forcibly converted everybody or killed them. This is what caused the Crusades. This is why Christianity fought back, because Islam was just conquering and murdering everyone in its path. The very inception of Islam as a religion was born and bathed in blood. No.
Well, I think a lot of, like, if you look at religions, if you look at nations, is built on blood, right?
Yep.
So I don't think that's like an Islam unique.
Exactly. Every religion around the world has done horrific things. Every group of people have done horrific things. It comes down to, are you past that, and are you going to, like rise above it and actually start being a little bit more understanding of individuals and their differences, right? Compared to Muslims nowadays, where most of them aren't like that. Like, there's still good ones out there, much like, most Christians aren't heavy duty, like crazy Christian people like they used to be, right? It's not so dogmatic, but at the same time, if someone's full into their beliefs, you can't really fault them for being full into their belief. But at the same time, if majority of what your belief system is doing is causing violence, like literally doing violence, then you can't sit there and say it's about peace. You can't.
Thing. But I think that when you're looking at any particular sort of religious extremism and fundamentalism, you're going to get some pretty scary stuff in practice. So I think as long as the way you interpret your religion makes it so that you behave like a normal person in today's standards, then you're good in my books. Like, truthfully, I don't have a problem with people based on their religion unless they start using it to justify, like, just either annoying
people's
behavior,
actions,
bad behavior, etc. That's why so many people, I think this is generally true with vegans as well, because vegans, they act in a way where you think veganism is a religion. So what they'll do is they'll sort of like scold you and like be morally grandstanding about how good of people they are because they don't eat meat and how evil you are. And that sort of just like beating down on others, grandstanding, makes people totally turned off to your cause, even if they might be interested or might even agree with you to some capacity, right? And it's like the same thing with Christianity. If you have people like, door knocking and they won't leave, and people like scolding you for doing things that they consider sinful, even if it's not even like most people wouldn't consider it that bad, like drinking or something like that, you turn people off to what you believe. So a lot of it just simply has to do with methodology. And so generally, if you're not evil or annoying, people won't care if you're religious, and I think it actually would make them more interested in, just like learning about what you believe if the way you behave is totally normal and civilized.
Oh,
right.
Islam, it is not a religion of peace. And I never knew this, but Hasan Piker, this mother effer is literally an anchor baby.
This mother
I
effer.
never knew that about
I didn't know that either.
And no wonder he hates ICE. No wonder he hates immigration enforcement. Because this guy, if American natives had their way, wouldn't have even gotten citizenship in the first.
Well, if certain laws are actually passed, people like him, especially if they're gonna have super amounts of hatred, and I mean, it's totally fine if you don't like certain leaderships or certain ways that your country's going. That's fine. But sitting there and saying that Americans deserve 9/11 and American soldiers deserve PTSD and all this horrific stuff that he says, because he says way worse stuff, you probably shouldn't be here then. And you should use that free will that you have and all that money to move to somewhere that you think is better. Like go back to Turkey.
Even have to deal with this guy. No wonder he hates everything that Trump and MAGA is trying to do by kicking out all the illegals right now.
Not 100%. And it's clear that his mom and him similarly view America as merely an economic opportunity zone. And I think when you have
they treat it like it's a job,
and all they view America from, or they view America.
Hasan treats America like it's his job. He's gonna sit here, live here, work here, do everything, make money, but he's gonna sit there also talking shit about it. And in my opinion, if an employer can sit there and fire you if you say some disparaging comments or, false truths about said business, then I think the same concept should be put forth to someone who's an anchor baby like Hasan, and they should be deported back to their birth country or, their family's home country, such as Turkey.
Is this economic opportunity zone. You're making it so that there's no ties to the land itself, the people, the culture, the tradition, the behavior. And I just think that makes it so that the whole boiling pot, the whole melting pot narrative of different people from different backgrounds all getting along, all waving the flag, even if they're different, kind of hard to believe, or at least hard to further when you have people not waving the flag, people burning the flag. It's not really a melting pot if you're throwing in ingredients that, it's like Mentos and Pepsi. You can put them together, but it creates something bad. So that's what I would say is what we're getting now, and something that I think needs to change.
Yeah, but when you look all across the West at the number of, terrorist attacks, guess who is the overwhelming majority of them? They're almost all Islamic. Seriously, we're just...
And if that is a true confirmed fact, you should be allowed to say that without fear.
And all the mass shootings that happen are all transsexuals.
If we're afraid to
or non-binary,
then lies will prevail. It's really a simple fucking concept.
Overlook that, and not to mention that, look at the UK, look at Europe, look at the number of grapes that are happening over there, and who are the vastly number that is responsible for all of them now.
Yeah, they have grape gangs all over Europe.
Muslim. 90% of all the grapes in all of these European
the fact that we have to say grape is retarded.
By Muslims now. Is Islam really a peaceful, nice religion that you want to be around? No. They're only progressive in the sense that they are progressive up until the point that they can take control, and then you're going to be Muslim whether you like it or not. But hit that like button and notification bell if you're enjoying the video, and let's get back in.
Christianity has far more bodies.
That's not true.
Absolutely true.
No.
Okay, well then answer me this question then. When George W. Bush said, God told me to invade Iraq and Afghanistan, why do we not consider that a Christian genocide?
What I find
a Christian genocide
is, even though Hasan argues from this perspective, I really do believe that if he was offered to live in a predominantly Muslim country versus America, which is predominantly Christian,
he would not.
Exact same material standards, his same large mansion house, sports cars, maybe he has a private chef, whatever. If those were controlled factors, he would probably still say in predominantly Christian America, which is interesting.
He would.
Because if everything else is the same, if those are the only two things that are different, but he considers one to be more violent than other, why wouldn't he live in the less violent one? I don't think he would. I really don't think he would. And I think where he lives now kind of shows that.
Or in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Because that was just one person. But Christianity is
it's just one person.
but
what about
Muslim,
what about a lot of the military members who
I bet you would not go back to your country and say,
see,
I'm no longer Muslim.
Yep.
They'll kill you.
Yeah, he would not go to Turkey or any other place and go,
idea.
I'm not a
Well,
Muslim.
I think it's even clear with when he says I'm culturally Muslim that he has to sort of pussyfoot around saying that he doesn't believe in any of it because he knows the people who he'd upset by it would be people who he's kind of afraid of.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of agnostic, but I'm super culturally Muslim. I believe in all. It's like, you know, it sounds like you're really trying to.
They call this Hasan Piker versus Jesse Lee Peterson.
No,
Well, you want to go to the
Turkey
Muslim and tell them that.
Turkey currently has a well. First of all, Turkey's a secular democratic republic.
Well, you may can go to Turkey, but you wouldn't go to a Muslim country.
Turkey is
and
a
tell
Muslim country. It's
you wouldn't say
98%
that.
Muslim.
You would not say that I'm no longer Muslim.
I say it all the time.
Not to them.
Yes, I do.
Amazing.
There are plenty of atheists who are, or there are plenty
This
of
is news to me. Hassan regularly.
But the thing is, you don't see Christians, Catholics, or any of those other people in America attacking other people who say they're not Christian or Catholic. You see Muslims attacking other Muslims because they go against their Sharia law. Like, literally, not too long ago, there was a husband and a wife who started beating their daughter in front of a school.
Flies to Turkey, patting or tapping people on
This
the
was in
shoulder
America.
and telling him he's not Muslim. Is that something he does? I haven't seen that stream. Can someone send me the VOD?
agnostic Turkish people, and there are plenty of progressive Muslims who don't subscribe to a lot of the things that you're mentioning. As a matter of fact, the overwhelming majority of Muslims are not a part of the monolith, the picture that you're trying to paint all of Islam as.
People mock progressive churches and progressive Christians as being like wolf in sheep's clothing, lying.
I would semi-agree with that, but at the same time, religions, much like any religion, is able to evolve and change, but at the same time, they might want to consider themselves something else other than, you know, Christian or Catholic or whatever. Come up with a different religious name. Still go, oh yeah, I follow the Bible or I follow the rule of God, but this is what our religion is, and not call it Christianity.
Sinful LARPers, like these, like, you know, churches where they're like LGBT inclusive. They have like a trans pastor. Everyone is like, oh yeah, everyone here is going to hell. All the Christians, like, yeah, everyone there is going to hell. And if that's how Christians treat like progressive Christians, I can't even imagine how Muslims treat progressive Muslims.
Oh, it's way worse. They're way worse.
You can't trust Islam.
I would never.
A lot of fundamentalists, a lot of the extremists that you're talking about have similar perspectives to you.
They have been taught to lie to the infidels, and I'm a Christian.
Do you think homosexuality is sin? Do you think homosexuality is bad?
It's not good.
It's not good. What would you do about it?
Show them how to overcome.
Okay.
And
what if they're like, I don't want to overcome. I want to kiss a man.
Then let them suffer and die. That's their business.
Okay, that's a very fundamentalist perspective. Not just
And what he means by suffer and die means if you get an illness because you did something with somebody that you probably shouldn't have, you're going to suffer and die, and that is, you know, the will of whatever God you want to believe in. And he's totally in the right for that. Is it right or nice? Nah. But at the same time, hey.
ISIS would kill them, but I said let them suffer and die.
As a matter of fact,
because people have a right to suffer and die.
As a matter of fact, if we were to look at data, okay?
We can can't believe data. Liberals lie.
I'm not looking at
liberals lie.
Guy, and I'm like, he needs to fucking die right now. He needs to suffer. It's a bit much, but I guess see what he's trying to say. I guess like, it's sort of like the you can do what you want, just don't fucking do it in front of me thing. Yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
Liberals lie, man.
Why?
It's a little bit more respectful than anything else.
Right. There are plenty of Muslims who will lie straight to your face because they're playing the long game. This is all about Allah. This is all about conquering the world, which is literally a huge point of the Muslim world. So now we have places all over in America now, some that are even trying to do Sharia law.
Oh, big time.
Who
Dearborn, Michigan.
For the overthrow of the.
If that includes, if one of the things we can get from Sharia law taking over is no women drivers, I'd be okay with that. If we can pick and choose the things from Sharia law that we get, honestly, there's a few in there I might consider. I might like reread them a few times and see if it's legit. Now the throwing
multiple wives
buildings, nah, I wouldn't say we want that. Kind of a mess to clean up.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a few, maybe one or two things from the maybe like 100 fucking pages of Sharia law that I'd say, you know, maybe there's something there. I'm half joking, half not. I don't really. The only thing I know is the woman driving thing, and sometimes I think we can all agree we've considered it.
United States, the downfall of Christianity.
Or if you haven't considered it, you're fucking lying. Or you yourself are one driver or something. I don't know.
All of this was imported and allowed by the left, by people like woke Hasan Piker, who shouldn't have even been able to get U.S. citizenship in the first place. The idea of anchor babies is an absolute joke of immigration. That some foreigner can...
Yeah, in my opinion, if anyone's gonna become a citizen, is like the way I should see it is an anchor baby should only be considered an actual real citizen if one or both parents became legitimized as citizens, and now they are legitimized here. Not, oh hey, my parents had me while I was here, so now they're technically also citizens, even though they're not. But I am a full citizen. It shouldn't that shouldn't be a thing.
Just rush across the border, have a kid, and now they're tied to that country.
You gotta keep parents responsible, for God's sakes.
Rights to anything? No, it's an absolute travesty. This guy shouldn't even be here to begin with. And now, because of people like him, we have been invaded. And that's why, folks, you need to stand up for your country and your culture, because if you don't, you will lose it and you won't like what replaces it. But thanks for watching. Let me know down below in the comments.
He's completely right. Shout out to the Apostle. Very good commentary here. And I think Hasan, this is an older clip. He's probably become smart on how he says these sorts of things, but it's still a pretty embarrassing clip. Worth taking a look at.
That was funny.
What do you guys think? Did you enjoy? If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys.
Go check out his video. I thought this was old because I was like, I swear I thought I saw that at one point in time, a long time ago. But go check that out. Go check out my channel sponsor, W.GG, and use my code TacticalGaming90. Link and all that will be in the description and comment section below. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Later.